It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias podcast with Lydell, Dinero, and Hugo Twilight.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Lydell Dinero, and it's time for another episode of the Best of Bias podcast. You already know. What's up, AK?
What's cracking?
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling wide awake.
Good. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. It's time for some pop culture and some Hawkeye review. Ep.3, to be exact, of Hawkeye review. Are you ready to get right on into it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
We got a lot to talk about, and like I said last week, we got to try to speed in and try to get that episode 4 review in, because our recording schedules, we drop on Fridays, as you guys know. It's kind of weird how the show comes out on Wednesday and we drop on Friday and we watch it on Wednesday, but we don't bring the episode out till Friday. So it's kind of hard to get caught up, but we will get caught up, I promise you guys. But thank you for being here. Thank you for lending an ear. But we're going to get right into it, you know what I'm saying? Starting with the Ethan Crumbly Michigan team who at Oxford High School, he went on a little rampage there, not to make light of any of it, but he went up and shot his high school up, killed 4 fellow students. One of the teachers got shot, 7 wounded total, or 7 others wounded, 4 killed. It was a crazy situation. I don't know what's kind of getting into the world nowadays that would inspire somebody to go and do things like this. And I heard there was like early signs and, hints that people could have stopped it early. His parents could have done something to intervene and could have saved these kids' lives, but they didn't. What do you know about this case? What have you heard?
I know very little. The only thing I know is he killed 4 people, that they didn't really have any signs of bullying, which is unfamiliar with these cases because usually somebody's getting bullied or something.
Right.
But there's sometimes people have mental issues. I know that his parents were very negligent, knowing that they have a son who has some kind of issues, if there was already early warning signs, and they left their pistol in easy access, I guess, or whatever. Yeah. But then, I even heard that he posted a picture of his gun on social media a couple of days before.
He did.
And it's nobody thought to mention that this little weird white kid is posting a gun on social media.
And they said he was in class looking up ammunition and his parents caught him and told his mom and dad.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he was in class looking up ammunition to buy, and he got caught by his teacher. And they called home.
I was confused. I was like, you just brought a whole new dynamic into this. You said his parents caught him and then told his parents, his mom and dad. I was like, wait, what? You got other parents?
Double parents, nah. He was adopted, nah. He was in class looking up that shit, and his teacher caught him and told his mom and dad, and supposedly his mom texted him, "You gotta learn not to get caught," or some bullshit like that. Some negligent ass shit. And supposedly he did have Instagram and Facebook pages that were hella demonic, and he was posting posts about he's gonna do something crazy that's had hella bad thoughts and demonic thoughts that he can't shake. And weird shit like that. So, you know what I mean? I feel like it's kind of weird. It's scary, man, especially thinking about having kids and having them be at school where they're supposed to be safe. And that shit can just happen at any time. It's becoming a lot more common, which shouldn't be anything we should be worrying about in this world.
That's why a lot of these cats, after this pandemic, they figured out that homeschooling is a possibility, So it's if they ended like me, I don't even have kids. And if I had kids, I would not want to deal with them kids all day. So taking that risk. We taking that risk.
Safety precautions at schools just need to get better. I mean, I guess liaison officers on campuses aren't really the most popular thing, but this goes to show you need those liaison officers because people are seeing shit and being inspired by this crazy shit that's going on online and social media about people doing this shit. And if they have, mental health issues, they'll go out and try to recreate this shit and just do the shit that this guy did. Ethan did. Nuts. 15 years old, going up to school.
bulletproof backpacks are a thing.
Oof, are they?
Yes, they are.
Oh shit! I didn't know that shouldn't be a thing. You shouldn't have to worry about that kind of shit. But
Yeah, but with the shit that's going on, we do have to worry about it. So get them
uh,
damn, go buy the motherfuckers up in bulk.
in Texas, they're probably just teaching their kids younger and having them carry guns to school. If anybody whips it out on you,
You whip it out faster.
exactly. That's what's gonna start happening. Shit, after all this shit, gun awareness. If you're gonna have the law, Second Amendment, and have people to have guns, start teaching them younger about the safeties and dangers. Make different kind of bullets. Like
Well,
I don't know.
they tried all that stuff. But like I always say, if there was a button right now I could push and would make all guns in the world disappear to where nobody had guns, I would do it. But
Yeah,
that's impossible. That's impossible.
but
So
then
for
you just find something else to use as a weapon, just like guns.
yeah, well, I mean, nah, that doesn't like guns.
I
Ain't
want to
nothing like
push.
guns.
I want to push a button to change people's mentality that they don't need to hurt or kill each other. How about that? Boop, push that button.
That would be great, but then you're changing instincts of humans, and that's
Oh,
you don't know what other things are going to change along with that.
oh, so we got a fucking universal crisis, huh? We'll change the timelines and shit.
Yeah, but if you can get rid of guns, if you can get rid of guns and make it where motherfuckers got to go toe to toe and pull out a knife like they do over in UK and stuff, it's like that shit's way more gruesome. But
Yeah, it's way more gruesome.
it's a lot easier for a person to be amped up to be told, all right, they right around the corner. We gonna hit the corner, just step out the window and just start letting off. Person with a knife, you hit the corner and be like, all right, those dudes you gotta stab. That shit's real. It ain't as easy as just pulling the trigger out of a window. You gotta walk up, get close.
Yeah, you got to make your way up close and get them on the slide.
I'm sure there's a lot of motherfuckers that got hit that block, hit that corner, and was like, you know what? I ain't doing this today. I'm good.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, wild.
I'm about to stab a motherfucker to death. But I mean, with the way shit is now, though, it's like everybody has guns in America. You try and outlaw guns or put laws up to get rid of them, and the only people who are gonna have guns are
People that
outlaws.
get them illegally.
Yeah, and those are usually the people who are willing to. Those are usually the people you have to defend yourself against. So now you took all the guns away from people who need to defend themselves. Only ones who have guns are the ones who are willing to commit the crimes.
Yeah.
Well, shit. You know what I mean? Then we really fucked.
Yeah, that's just nuts. So prayers up to those families, man. Hopefully we can figure out how to get this shit back in order. Because school, some experiences in school is kind of cool, man. School dances, experiencing walking the stage in front of your peers for graduation, friends, the little things like that are cool from school. So
learning to communicate with people.
That's right, and we need that. We cannot take that away, especially in this time.
We're already losing it.
Yeah, it's getting crazy. Moving on into some more kind of somber stuff. Alec Baldwin is interviewing about his, the gun situation, gun misfire on the set of his movie Rust. Yeah, he's interviewing and telling, kind of like trying to prove himself innocent more. Not that we already thought that he was fully responsible. I think there's more powers that be that are responsible that we haven't really heard about yet. I don't know why that Alec Baldwin's still the main focus when there's other people that should be held responsible. But yeah, people are saying it's kind of distasteful for him kind of trying to defend himself as much as he is when there's people that died, and more attention should be kind of put on that rather than him defending himself.
Yeah, it seems more like that rich, just selfish type of mindset where it's like, okay, this person's dead, this person's injured, but it wasn't my fault,
Right,
like,
right.
No, nobody's saying it was your fault. I mean, people were saying, yeah, you're the person that pulled the trigger, but you're an actor. It's like,
right.
You have a job and you're doing your job. Somebody else fucked up on their job, but now with you coming out and trying to defend yourself against something that it reminds me of like a little kid who did something and nobody knows who did it, and then they're the first one to say it wasn't me,
right? Because he's even going as far now to say that he didn't even pull the trigger; the gun just went off by itself. Like he's just making it more of a what the fuck happened situation, rather than okay, we know you weren't responsible. Let's really figure out what happened. Rather than
did he only shoot once or did he shoot twice?
I don't know. I feel like it went off twice because there's two people that got shot. Unless it's an ultimate ricochet.
But it might have went through him and then went through her and killed her.
Exactly.
Not even a ricochet. They could have just been standing like right behind each other.
Right. Yeah. Fuck. That's nuts. But yeah, man, I just kind of feel like Alec Baldwin, he's gonna have to take a little break. I don't know if he actually wants to keep acting right now. Mentally, it's kind of, I feel like being on the set of a movie just kind of will bring back these feelings all the time. So kind of think he needs to take a little break. People are understanding the situation more. They're trying to know the details, but they know that you weren't trying to shoot the woman. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
So I think he needs to
Maybe SNL. I don't know.
No, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so people were trying to say it's a conspiracy theory that he was talking hella shit about Trump. Maybe they got his ass, set his ass up. Now they're trying to pin it on him. Now his career is ruined. Who knows?
He old as fuck. His career was like he could have retired at any time. He's fine. He said
Right.
He can retire to the Bahamas if he wanted to.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's where he wants to go.
I feel it. Do people still go to the Bahamas for retirement?
I mean, I think that's where Sean Connery retired too. I believe he died. Yeah, that's the illest motherfucker in Nebraska. But
illest nigga in Nebraska. All right. So let's see. Omicron. How you feeling about this Omicron Persei 8?
Omicron.
It's the new variant of COVID-19. Well, that was Omicron.
When you said that shit,
that's Futurama.
I was about to say that's what it sounds. I was thinking like Futurama. I was like, that sounds like something from Futurama.
Right. That's why I'm thinking they stole a name from there. It's like, how they gonna go Omicron? That's Omicron Persei 8 from Futurama. Can't steal the name, but yeah, this new variant's out from South Africa. They're saying it's from. Pretty wild.
And that's probably because they was down there testing this shit on the Africans, like the French people already suggested they do. Because motherfuckers is racist. They literally suggested to test the fucking vaccine on Africa.
Well, at least they're the white Africans, South Africa.
No, it's a mixture. I'm just kidding.
But that's just the stereotype that us Americans have of South Africa from back in the day. You shipped in a little bit, my boy. I'm waiting for you to come back. You guys, Best of Bias, like the hat out here. New hat. Truckers, go get you one. Best of Bias merch site coming up real soon. Hopefully he makes his way back here soon. But yeah. Hey, there you are. I can hear you now.
It's funny, I can hear you the whole time. I'm like, why is this motherfucker talking?
I can hear you now, though. Okay, continue.
Oh no, I was just saying that it's funny how that's just this variant comes out of there, but I feel like they're probably testing some shit down there, and that's how they got some mutations because they're doing some tests in Africa because they do, and then that shit spread. So I mean, the thing that pisses me off is like, I'm getting this fucking vaccine that I don't really want to get. I mean, I'm not really afraid to get it. I just don't see the point in putting some fucking thing that I have no idea what I'm putting in my body, but now I'm getting it, and then they're coming out with another variant, and this shit that I'm getting a couple of days probably won't even protect me from it. So what's the point?
It's nutty because I got 2 shots. You still got to get. Are you getting just 1 dose or the 2 doses?
I'm getting both. I'm getting the Pfizer, I think.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. It's just then you got to get a booster. It's just a lot, man. It's just a lot.
I ain't getting I'm not getting no booster. I'm getting I'm getting these 2 shots that they so I can go visit my aunt in Indianapolis, and I ain't getting shit else. Fuck all that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm doing the booster either. I got a flu shot as well.
I ain't getting that shit.
I'm already shot up for my job, so I don't know if I'm gonna do the whole boost situation because it does leave your arm a little sore both times. So, well, flu shot does, and I know the fucking the COVID-19 shot, vaccine does hurt a little bit as far as leaving your arm a little sore. But you might be used to it from pumping them weights, so
I've not worked out since August. That's the craziest shit. Yeah, at all.
Yeah. I feel that. Well, speaking of these vaccines and stuff, watch out for the Omicron. I don't know, man. All these fucking variants that they're coming out with. If you're vaccinated, man, hopefully I can just knock those out the park and you can stay. Just wear your mask. Don't be kissing on people in public. That's gross, anyways. I don't know why people be kissing in public, swapping spit. That's weird. Shit. I just can't imagine clubs and shit when nowadays. Like, do you dance with people anymore? You can't even breathe in somebody's face. Like, girl, that's weird.
Hey, these young motherfuckers don't be caring.
I know.
I'm taking that. What's it? Hot Tub Time Machine 2 thing. Instead of actually giving high fives, everything is high five. I'm gonna use that for everything. Sex.
Like, I feel that. Yeah, but fucking speaking of these vaccines and speaking of getting vaccinated, Antonio Brown. I got to talk about this because I'm a Buccaneers fan and this man is on the Buccaneers. And this story was popping last week. So I'm gonna get this out there. He got suspended for 3 games for presenting a fake vaccination card at the beginning of training camp, I think it was. It's funny too because people are saying you don't need to be vaccinated to play football. You know what I'm saying? You just got to follow more stringent regulations and stuff and have to do shit that you may not want to do. Being a person that doesn't really believe in the COVID type shit, which Antonio Brown's probably one to believe that way. So I guess he got his hands on some fake vaccination cards and got them to the Tampa Bay team and was able to practice. But down the line, it got passed and he did get vaccinated. But I guess there was a live-in chef that he had. I forgot his name. I think it's like Steven Ruiz or some shit like that. He owed him like $10,000 or something of that nature. It might have been significantly less, like $1,500 to $10,000. Let's say something like that, even though that's hell of a big gap. But he owed him some money. But to him, he's a multimillionaire. He made a lot of money in his career. I'm sure he got it. He owed the chef money. He wouldn't pay it. They had a dispute. And since Antonio Brown didn't want to pay, Mr. Ruiz Mr. Steven went ahead and told the NFL that Antonio Brown presented those fake vaccination cards and he asked him to go find somebody that can get fake vaccination cards and presented text messages and kind of proof that said that Antonio Brown did it. During this, all the shit's coming out, Tampa Bay's rolling, winning some games and shit. Mind you, Antonio Brown has been hurt for like 5-6 weeks already. And he wasn't planning on playing for another 2 weeks anyways, because of the injury. After some research was done, they did find that he at the time did present fake vaccination cards, him and 2 other players from the Bucks. One of our backup safeties and a player that was on the practice squad did it. But during this whole time, Antonio Brown and his agent were saying Antonio Brown is vaccinated now. He'll get the booster. If you guys want to come see him take the booster, I'm inviting you guys to come see. But at the time, I guess they were fake, even though he is vaccinated now, fully vaccinated. At the time, the cards were fake and the NFL investigated and found that, but they suspended him for only 3 games, which I feel like he could have got suspended for more because that's a pretty big violation for preventing fake information. He only got 3 games in which he was going to miss 2 anyways because of the injuries. So it's pretty much a slap on the wrist and he's only going to miss 1 game. But he is going to miss those game checks.
And he gets an extra week to
heal up.
To heal up a little more.
And we play a trash team as well.
But wasn't he gonna miss the game checks anyways, even though he was because he was injured?
Oh no, I think he still gets paid. If it's a legit injury, he still gets paid. But they're taking the game checks away from him. Which I think he's on like a vet minimum anyway, so it probably wouldn't be that much money. But his contract is, I think, incentive latent, so it's based on making the Super Bowl, like scoring touchdowns, doing this kind of shit. So I think he's going to get paid no matter what. So basically, the NFL tried to show it's doing the right thing, but didn't really, because Aaron Rodgers kind of blatantly lied about getting vaccinated, and he was only not able to play 1 game because he had COVID, and so he didn't even get suspended about lying about his immunization to the media. They're saying that his team and the players on the team knew he wasn't vaccinated, so he didn't necessarily lie to the NFL. He just misrepresented the truth. But who knows? Who fucking knows? Moving on.
Wordplay is amazing.
What? Misrepresented the truth?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's wild. Let's see what else we got here. Let's talk about Jussie Smollett. This can be quick because nobody really cares about this case. But remember back in the day when he got beat up, supposedly in Chicago at 3:00 in the morning, getting a Subway sandwich, and they poured bleach on his ass and was yelling MAGA and shit.
And cold ass Chicago where bleach would have froze before it even hit him. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it ended up being 2 like African brothers that like trainers that he trains with or whatever. And he knew him, and it was a planned and plotted thing just to get his career to take off. And
the polar opposite.
Right. Yeah. So basically the trial is taking place now, and he took the stand. It was a 5-hour testimony from him. in which they ask him about the events of him getting beat up, and him lying about getting beat up, and then finding out being a lie. But basically, Jesse, Juicy, what fucking Dave Chappelle call him?
Juicy Smollett or something like that.
Juicy Smollett, Juicy Smollett.
Something like that.
Yeah, basically, he was saying that he wasn't lying. But actually, the two trainer dudes, the buff African dudes, one of the brothers he was having a secret relationship with, and one of the brothers didn't know about it. And they would make out, and they had a sexual relationship one time. They would get a hotel room and have sex, do some weird shit. I don't know. But basically, he's basically, because the African brothers kind of are telling, the judge and everything that they were told to do all this from Jesse Smollett. They were told to beat him up, told him to yell MAGA, told him to pour bleach on him or whatever. But Jesse is saying that never happened. He never told them to do that. They're just disgruntled lovers, and he got beat up. They were smoking, riding in the car that night. He stopped to go get something from CVS or something like that, and then the brother just started beating him up out of nowhere. The only thing that was a lie was the MAGA thing that was made up, but everything else was true. He got beat up by these guys, and it wasn't because, he told him to do it.
Yeah, well, if that was the case, then why did he originally lead with that instead of telling on the dudes who did it? Because he knew who they were. So,
and he said they were white guys. Like those are obviously not white guys.
Yeah. So his arguments are stupid. He's pretty much gonna lose his case. So.
Right, but he's facing up to 3 years in jail, and I feel like I don't know if he deserved to go to jail for 3 years, but I don't think
he does. But it's America is going to use that to throw his ass in there because when it's offenses like that are against them, then they're gonna give him the full intent of the law, or whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
They're gonna throw that at him, the little fucking hammer the judge has.
I want somebody's shoe. But yeah, man, moving into since we're talking about the law, a lot of shit has been going down in kind of these bigger cities, a lot of robberies, a lot of smash and grabs. They're saying because a lot of these cities are having a lighter punishment for robberies and stuff like that. Smash and grabs, they're actually probably getting out of jail the same day with like a $500 bail or some shit like that. Some states that have no bail are letting them out, just getting out of jail, doing these crimes over and over again with doing multiple crimes in a night, knowing that there won't be a harsh penalty or anything like that. It's nuts. And we're seeing a lot of these, a lot of videos on social media, people just getting robbed in midday, pure daylight. People just walking into other people's houses, following them into their houses, and just waiting at the door. It's called follow home robberies, where they follow somebody home, and then right when they get to opening their door, they'll jump out on them and force their way into their house and do shit like that. It's nuts, man. And people are coming into people's houses and killing them, and they're not really I don't know. I feel like they're not really getting punished the way they need to be punished because it's a trend that's happening. I think those kind of crimes went up like 40% in LA and big cities like that. Just robberies and shit have just gone up, and it's getting nuts.
You gotta understand, when you got places that have poverty and right around the corner you got extreme wealth,
right?
And then you lessen the penalty for somebody taking something from somebody. Oh yeah, that shit gonna fly. It's gonna skyrocket.
And shit's going crazy, and that brings us to the case here with Clarence and Jacqueline Avant. Jacqueline was unfortunately killed in a home invasion. I don't know exactly where their house was.
Somewhere in LA. I don't know exactly where. I know they live. I think it might be. I don't think it's in Baldwin Hills. I think they actually have they live in like the white area of Hollywood or whatever, or LA.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Well, during a home invasion, I guess this guy, he comes in and kills her with an AR or like a assault rifle, shoots her like 8 times.
What the fuck?
Right, and she's an 81-year-old woman.
Oh yeah, they need to take his ass, and as soon as they get him, as soon as they can prove it's him without a shadow of doubt, bring back the firing squad.
Right, that shit is crazy, and I guess they didn't really see that he stole anything. He was actually caught doing another home invasion, and just trying to break into another person's house and rob them. I think they caught him during that. And that's kind of nutty, man. People are out here doing this kind of shit, knowing that there's not going to be a harsh penalty when you have these people out here that are actually willing to kill an 81-year-old woman. And I don't even know if it, somebody was going there to steal or it was kind of set up because Clarence, you were telling me Clarence Avant, the Godfather, the Black Godfather, he was pretty known and wealthy out there. I don't know if it had anything to do with not do with him. People were trying to look for him, trying to steal from him. And she happened to be home. I think he was actually home. But they only shot her. And I think he escaped or something like that. It's nutty.
He's an older man, so he probably couldn't even get there in time to do anything.
Right.
I think it's just more. He has a lot of connections, but in the good sense, nothing bad. Like when they say that you hear the Godfather, you think mafia type shit. But I mean, his was more of just he helped a lot of people out, and a lot of different genres. Like whether you go from hip hop to movies to presidents, he helped all of them out. Obama. I forgot the other dude's name, who was like a peanut farmer or something like that. He helped a lot of those guys out. Whether I think it was who was his damn name again? That president that he was never he was a peanut farmer, I believe, before he became president. And a lot of black folks voted for him. This is Carter, I think. I want to say before Bush or before, I forgot who it was, before Reagan. I don't remember who it was.
I'm not really a big president guy. I'm not even going.
I'm not either. But I know it was one of the presidents, a white dude, who's a peanut farmer. He helped that guy become president by throwing a festival for him and getting a lot of artists that were on his label and getting them to perform. He also was the person who was behind Bill Withers, who's one of my favorite singers. That was fucking awesome. I think he even helped Biggie, not Biggie, but Puffy, and then when Biggie got killed, they called him for help. Yeah, he was helping everybody. Yeah, so I mean, when Obama gave his speech before he became president, Obama was on the phone with him.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he knows every fucking body. If you watch the documentary, you'll see everybody's on that documentary. Bill Clinton to Puff Daddy, I think. You get every genre of life is inside of here.
I feel that. It touched a lot of people. I feel that. Well, God rest his wife's soul, because that is crazy circumstances there. Like I said, shit is wild out there. So if you guys can stay out the way, you should stay out the way as much as you can, because people out there are seeing what people have, and it's kind of seeming like you can't have nothing right now. So
you can't even stay out the way. She was out the way.
She was out the way in her own goddamn house. That's nutty, man. That is really crazy. Whew. It's kind of hard.
I know people are against guns. Get a gun. Kill home invaders.
Yeah, for real.
Shoot them.
Yeah, before they try to take them away from you.
No, I just said kill home invaders. After a while, they'll stop coming to your home when they don't want to get killed. So.
Oh, for sure. I feel that. Let's talk about this 3 6 Mafia versus Bone Thugs versus.
Okay.
Did you see any highlights? Did you see the versus itself?
I saw the whole thing, yeah.
Oh, for sure. How'd you feel about it? You saw the fight at the beginning?
It wasn't really I guess they did get into a fight, but yeah.
I saw Juicy threw a punch. He hit somebody.
Somebody probably Busy's little ass. Busy Bones, the one who caused the whole thing. It came out of nowhere.
He jumped to the back real fast.
But he was the one who caused it.
No,
and everybody else was trying to calm everything down, because all the members are friends with 3 6 Mafia, and vice versa. It's just him. He's always been the trouble starter in the whole crew. Small man complex type shit.
Hey, how did you feel about the songs, the versus? Who won? Who you think?
I think I always thought that Bone Thugs had better songs than 3 6 Mafia. 3 6 Mafia have a couple really good songs, but the majority of their songs are not that great.
Right.
Although the one member of that group who actually had the best lyrical skills is the one that died, Lord Infamous, because they had a diss track to Bone Thugs years ago. Can't remember the name of it, but I know the whole thing, I didn't even know it was a Bone Thugs diss, and this is back when I used to be really into Bone Thugs. And then the last verse of the song, that dude does a verse where he uses everybody from the group's name in the verse, but not saying their name, but he'll use the actual name as a word in the verse, so you know it's about them. So he goes from Lazy, Wish, Flesh, all of them, Busy, but he just uses it cleverly in his verse. And I'm like, oh, they're talking about Bone Thugs. And then one of them says, we bone killers and bone breakers. I'm like, oh, okay. It's the Bone Thugs this. Okay.
I feel that.
But as far as the verses went, I thought that Bone Thugs played their songs horribly. Like the songs they chose to play, they had better songs they could have picked to play.
Yeah.
And then they played them in a horrible order, I thought.
Mhm.
Because as far as hits, they have way more than 3 6 Mafia
Right.
and way better ones, but they just
Right.
didn't utilize all of them. Like, I don't think I even heard First of the Month.
Yeah.
On
Somebody else
here.
said that, but they did. I think they. I don't know. I don't remember hearing it. I bounced off a couple of times, but I know that 3 6 Mafia were able to play a bunch of songs that they either produced or people sampled or some shit like
Mm-hmm.
that. Had a bunch
Yeah,
of guests: Lil Wayne, Wiz Khalifa, 8 Ball, MJG, Lil
yeah,
Flip.
yeah.
Fucking
They won mostly on the fact that they had gimmicks. Music wise, Bone Thugs won, but as far
yeah,
as like they brought up people, they had like
yeah.
throwing money
Duke
everywhere.
Deuce, yeah, he was throwing hella
Yeah,
money.
so it's just, I mean, but as far as like the songs wise, I just think that like 3 6 will play a hype song that get everybody jumping, and then Bone Thugs will play a Turkish Ruckus thing is always a little
Yeah,
like
hella
calm.
smooth.
Like, yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like, all right.
And
But
they're
the
gonna make
thing
it seem
is,
like they're gonna play something hella hype too. Say, oh yeah, okay, I like that song.
yeah.
Let me play
But the
something
thing
like this.
was,
Y'all ready?
and then it'd be like a slow song.
Yeah.
But when 3 6 was like doing that shit where they would turn the music down so everybody would like say their words,
Yeah.
nobody was saying their lines.
Yeah.
But when Bone Thugs was doing it, people were saying that. But that's obvious
Right.
because at the time of the heyday, Bone Thugs were actual superstars. They were
Right.
like pop music, as they say, and 3 6 was still underground.
I
So
feel it.
more
I
people
feel
were gonna know Bone Thugs music. So yeah,
Yeah, and the crowd was kind of weak too, though, because they were in LA. I think they
yeah.
were in LA, so all those guests could make it to the thing. But
Mhm.
the crowd was just sitting there with their phones up the whole time. It was kind of lame. They weren't even like, yeah,
And
probably
it's kind of
felt
fucked
that.
up. It's kind of fucked up for 3 6 too because LA they gonna know Bone Thugs music because they were signed by Easy, and you need to go to like places like real hoods like the Bay Area would know some 3 6 shit.
Yeah,
Of course, you know where they from, or you go to Texas or
Memphis and shit.
yeah, shit like that. They gonna know. But if you go to if you want Bone, like if you go to LA, the more popular groups are gonna shine every time. So yeah,
And both the style is like, super original.
more catchy. Although
Yeah,
you can't understand half the shit they say.
I know
Like
that was double. Yeah, that double
that's
shit.
one. That's why I say it's one of the things where like lyrics, neither side to me has good lyrics. I never thought
Right.
Bone Thugs had great lyrics. I never thought
Yeah.
3 6 did, except for Lord Infamous. Lord Infamous had good lyrics, and like the best rapper in Bone Thugs is Lazy, and then I will put Busy after him. If you listen to what the actual words they say,
Yeah.
they don't really have
Nothing.
the. It's not that really. No, they're actually saying something, but it's like a lot of filler.
Right, yeah.
You know
That's
what
what
I'm
I'm saying.
saying?
Like it's not fast. People kind of mistake it for rapping like fast, but it's just kind of like the
Syllables.
yeah, the pronunciation of the words.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep, I feel that. And that I kind of feel like Busta Rhymes is kind of on that level too. People thinks he raps really fast. It's just the way that he pronounces some of the words that he says, which makes it
Yeah.
seem like it's super
But
fast.
whenever he does that, the actual lyrical content drops. Whenever
Yeah.
like only person I know who can rap fast like that and keeps the same like really good lyrical content is Twisted.
hmm
He the only one like he'll come through with like wordplay and punchlines, still rapping
I
fast
think
as fuck.
Eminem could do it too, though.
I mean, yeah, Eminem. My bad. Eminem's
Yeah.
different, but I
Yeah.
should say more known for Eminem started off like when he started off rapping fast, but he didn't get when he got famous. He started off rapping slow and
hmm
being emphasizing more on the wordplay.
hmm
So
Yeah.
now, yeah, he does that fast rapping shit now, and he does the
He
the
kills
word.
that shit. It's like fuck.
Yeah,
It's like you can't even keep up with the shit that he's saying. Like, oh wait, he said that here. Well, fuck. Okay, you
yeah,
over here. Yeah, but yeah, it's wild. But it was a good event. Thursday nights, man. Why didn't they make these on Fridays so people can actually? And they put them at weird ass times too. It'd be like Thursday at 4 o'clock.
but
So the verses and shit, they start at weird ass times.
I always see him after. I'll like see something on something online saying this happened at a verse. I'm like, oh, they did a verse. I'll go check it out. And that's pretty much it. Like
Yeah,
I don't check for him.
I feel that. I want to get into it before we get into this Hawkeye review, because I know that's what the people is waiting for, the Hawkeye review. We'll talk about this little boxing. I know Tank had a match this
Oh
past
yeah,
weekend, and we could
yeah.
talk about that and a little bit about this the Logan Paul or the Jake Paul fight and the
Oh yeah,
Fury
yeah.
backing out. So yeah, start with the Tank fight. What you
Well,
seeing? Okay.
I mean, the weekend before that, they had the Teofimo Lopez. I think we talked about that one, right?
Yeah, we
Where
did.
Teofimo got beat.
Uh-huh.
So it was like they had a lot of good fights. I think actually they had Devin Haney versus Jojo Diaz. I know you don't know who they are, but they are two I guess more elite fighters that are coming out right now. Devin Haney is a little more well known. The reason why I'm bringing him up
Was
is
he wearing green shorts?
I don't even remember what color shorts they. I
Oh.
watched both. I watched both fights too, but I don't remember the shorts.
I think
But
one
I
of
mean,
them had green shorts. John posted it on Instagram, so I think I know what
oh,
you're talking about.
okay. But the only reason I bring him up is because like they had that whole thing about the four kings they have now, which
Yeah.
are Tank Davis, Devin Haney. Uh, I don't know why Ryan Garcia is in there, but for some reason he's in there. And then the other one was Teofimo Lopez, who got beat. So he's I don't know if they could still consider him one of the four kings, or is it now three kings? But um, so it was a lot of good fights going on, and everybody was expecting because of nobody knew who Esau Cruz is, who's the guy that Tank fought. They thought it was going to be everybody who weren't real boxing fans thought it was going to be a wash. He was going to go in there, knock him out like normal. And me, I will say I had no idea who this dude was beforehand. I did look him up though and watch a few of his fights. I thought he was pretty good. I did think though I thought the Tank would have took him out a little quicker, had a little easier time with him. But overall, it was a good fight, and I thought Tank clearly won it because Tank got all the clean punches. I mean, it was a lot of aggression by other dude. He got a lot of body shots too, but most of like the more impressive hits and like the little hits that you don't see, like when dudes walk sneaking in and do a punch, Tank could do a little shorthand uppercut and catch him. But I also did notice that the dude was really good with his hands, keeping them up because a lot of those punches look like they got through. But when you play him in slow motion, he perfectly put his hand there, caught the punch. And it would do it when you would think, oh, he got hit. And it played in slow motion. It's like, oh shit, he didn't. Okay, dude he's actually pretty good. I give him his props.
How does that work for the scorecards for the judges though? Are they able to point it off replays, or they make the point and then they can't erase it?
So no, they can't erase it. That's the problem with that. Is a lot of times it's just depending on your judges. Sometimes judges, you have the judges, you got the ref is the first thing you got to get around, because there's been times when somebody was unloading on another person and the other person was blocking and dodging everything, but to the ref thought he was getting hit, so he stopped the fight.
Oh no!
Yeah, but then when they played it in slow motion, not one of the punches landed. So the guy was literally just moving.
Yeah.
And and it was like the most horrible stoppage ever. And but so you have a lot of shit you got to get through. But when you get to the actual judges, that's the worst part, because those punches that were when they played slow motion that he was blocking, the judges probably marked that as a hit, or in their head thought, oh, that's another one. Okay, well, Tank is clearly winning this round when he probably wasn't.
Yeah.
So that kind of shit could happen. That's why it's like the big thing is don't leave it in the judge's hands. Try and knock him out. But I mean, you can't always do that. But in this case, I think it would be nice to have a rematch. I don't think it would go good though, because Tank stated that he hurt his hand, and I don't think he was lying about it. And because you can see him you can first see him when he stops using his left hand so much. That's his power hand. And that was around like the 6th round, but he was still using it, but he wasn't you could see like the difference from like the first couple rounds when he would use it, the dude would notice it, like he would react to it, and then he just stopped reacting to it, because I think that he was just Tank was just trying to get points.
Yeah.
Because he knew his shit was broke. And then when they asked the other guy, so they were like, Tank said that his hand was broken. Around what round did you notice that he started to have less power with his left hand? And the dude was like, oh, the 5th round. I noticed it in the 5th round. Which means so if Tank still was able to outbox this dude with one hand and they have a rematch,
you're gonna get his ass whooped.
Yeah. Same thing happened with Mayweather years ago. There was a fighter where he got in there, he stated that he hurt his hand in the fight. He won the fight, but barely. The guy was doing it was a real close fight. And everybody was like, oh, you should have lost that fight. So Mayweather took the rematch and beat the fuck out of the dude. Completely outboxed him. And he was like, he proved he was like, yeah, they would have beat him with one hand. Now I got two hands. I'm proving to you guys that there was no point for this, but whatever. We got the money from it, so
I feel
it's
that. I feel that. I saw after that, or I don't know if it was after, but I saw Mayweather talking shit, calling Ryan Garcia the YouTube boxer.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
and
it was making sense though. Like, if you listen to everything he was saying, he was basically addressing what quote unquote what they call old media when it comes to boxing, and that's a lot of older media for who cover boxing. They tend to be very biased, especially when it comes to black fighters. And whenever people bring it up, they always act like it's not a real thing. But you can go back and look at history, even like up until like today, where they still do it, where certain fighters they have to do a lot less and get a lot further in boxing. Like what's his name again? Lomachenko. If you look at he became a champion only having a couple of fights. I forgot how many fights he had before he became a champion. They immediately gave him all the best fights coming in. And granted, he had like 500 and some amateur fights, and he already had a name coming in because he had been in the Olympics so many times and won. But I mean, whenever it's a black fighter, Terrence not Cruz, damn it,
Crawford.
Terrence Crawford, for example. I've been following Terrence Crawford for years. They've been calling Terrence Crawford the pound for pound best for some years, but nobody knew who he was. And it took him leaving Top Rank, which is usually one of the most racist fucking promoters there could be because they only really put effort in promoting white fighters. It took him leaving him and then getting in the ring with Terrence Crawford. I mean, with Sean Porter and dominating him in that fight for him to get his respect.
Yeah.
But I mean, he did that to champions before that already
Right.
and didn't get his respect.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody they put him in front of who already beat somebody else, he destroyed that person. So
Yeah.
it's like, it took forever. So that's what Mayweather was talking about mostly, about how you have all these great fighters who are usually black and they will not get talked about. And then whenever somebody who's a white fighter, usually a white or a lighter skinned fighter than a black fighter, obviously.
Mhm.
Whenever they are like doing good, and then somebody says, "Oh, why don't they fight against Charlo, or why don't they fight against Andre or something like that, or Demetrius Andre?" They always, "Oh, well, look at their resume. They don't have enough on their resume, this and that." But it's like he just fought somebody who nobody knew who that person was. Like, what's his name, Canelo?
Mhm.
Canelo's like he was fighting a bunch of nobodies, got a bunch of flack about that, and then he started fighting people with names, but UK names, which is a little
Yeah.
different than American names, and they haven't really fought anybody to prove themselves, and he demolished them. And it's like, well, you're fighting against people who either washed up or haven't really been proven themselves, but you got people over here who already proved themselves, who want to fight you, and you don't want to fight them. So it's like,
Yeah. Speaking of not wanting to fight, good transition. This was supposed to be a rematch in a couple of weeks, actually, for who was it? Which Paul was it? It was Jake Paul versus who was it? Tommy Fury.
Yeah.
That fight was supposed to be in a couple of weeks. But supposedly Tommy Fury broke his rib, so he had to back out, which brought back in Tyron Woodley for a rematch.
Yeah, nobody really wants to see, but okay.
Right, you're right. Nobody really wants to see that at all. People are kind of speculating that was the plan all along, and they just kind of wanted to build the fight hype with Tommy Fury just so Crawford can get his rematch in.
You mean what's his name? T. Woodley.
Oh, yeah, T. Woodley. I said Crawford.
But it's like T. Woodley to me is like this. I don't dislike him. I haven't lost. It's just like he clearly has the tools to get the job done, but he just doesn't have the drive or that whatever it is that makes you really just go balls to the wall and not give
tenacity.
a fuck about. It's not tenacity. It's just not giving a fuck about consequences.
The I don't know. But yeah, I guess there was.
No, I believe he wants to. I just think that he's afraid to get hurt, which a lot of fighters are nowadays.
Mm-hmm. I heard there was a clause in the contract that he couldn't knock him out. That's why people were speculating that he couldn't knock Jake Paul out because that was in the
Oh,
contract.
so when he
So
hurt him, that's why he didn't do
kind of
anything.
backed off. So this one, they're to prove that wasn't true. He supposedly is giving an extra $500,000 to Woodley if he knocks him out.
Mm.
So that's something that's going to be added new to the fight. And also, they're also speculating Tommy backed out because Jake Paul refused to take the drug test to see if he was taking steroids. And they're saying that if he
most
doesn't want to
likely
take
is.
right, so if they're saying if he doesn't want to take the test, then he doesn't want to fight. So who knows what it actually is? Maybe they're just trying to get Woodley that rematch, and then they'll still use that hype off that to get Tommy in there to fight him after his ribs get healed. But yeah, it could be the steroids. Who knows, man? It's just interesting to see. He took it on 2 weeks' notice, Woodley supposedly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that fight wasn't very long, hella long ago, but 2 weeks is not a long time to get back into shape. But I mean, I'm assuming he didn't get that far out of shape. I'm hoping he didn't.
Probably was.
But
Hopefully, he was just hoping to get that chance again and just kept
how long?
anyway.
How long ago was the other fight? Like only 2 months, right?
It was a while. I mean, not hella long. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say over 5 months.
I felt like it was only like 2 or 3 months ago.
It possibly was. I don't know. Because I remember
But I mean,
that Pacquiao fight was supposed to be on the same day, wasn't it?
I don't know. I'm about to say in just 1 month, if you don't do shit for 1 month, I know this because I haven't done shit since August or since the end of August.
Mhm.
You lose a lot. Like my
Yeah.
muscles cramp up with me all the time. I fucking feel weak as shit. Like squatting down sucks now because I don't do deadlifts or anything anymore. I don't do shit. So I'm gonna change that up tomorrow though. So
I feel that.
yeah.
Well, hopefully he gets his rematch and knock him out. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna bait me into watching it again. If there's a football game, if there's a
I'll
basketball
watch
game.
it for free.
I mean, yeah. If there's not a Nuggets or fucking Buccaneers game on, I will. There's a lot more
So
that get my attention than that fight.
that fight's in 2 weeks, and maybe I just haven't been online a lot, but they haven't been advertising that much.
Right. I guess people are saying that he ramps up his promotion closer to the fight.
But I mean, no, because I mean they were amping up the fucking promotions for the Woodley versus Jake Paul fight way before that.
I guess
They
they're
were
not trying
showing.
to. Hopefully, they're not. Maybe they're not trying to bring attention to the whole steroid situation and just trying to just surprise everybody with the
Nah,
card.
because I feel like this shit's all about money and
Mhm.
advertisements, how you make your money.
I feel it.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
it.
something that's weird. But all right,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see who can come out on top in that. I don't know how much money they're actually going to make off this. The whole Paul media circus over these fights may be kind of run its course. So who knows?
I hope.
But lastly, let's get into what they all came here for so we can get up out of here. Let's talk about this Hawkeye Ep.3. It was an amazing episode. I liked because we got left off on this episode, last episode, where she crashed through the roof trying to save Hawkeye. And so she just ended up getting captured. So that's where we kind of start in this episode. Actually, we start off with a flashback, I believe, but you want to go ahead and give us the brief description of this episode? So get started.
Yeah. Well, first of all, like I love the banter back and forth with the fucking what do they call them again? The jumpsuit guys. I forgot the name.
Tracksuit Mafia.
Tracksuit Mafia. But in the comic, I believe they are Kingpin's little minions or a little group. He runs that group.
Right. Yeah, they mentioned him a couple times because he's
and not only that, but he's supposed to be like her mentor. So
I thought it was his stepdaughter.
who? What's her name?
Echo.
Yeah, I mean something like that. But he still mentored her.
Yeah.
But you seen the flashback where they showed the guy in the suit and he had the little laugh and it was the exact same laugh as the guy who played Kingpin in the Daredevil show.
Right. They didn't show his face though.
But I mean, it's clear that's who it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's going to be the dude from CSI as well. I think that he is going to be in the show.
It's the same. It was his laugh, 100%. Yeah. And why wouldn't they bring him in? Because they already have Murdoch from the show, the dude playing Daredevil. So
right, it'll be more surprising to see Daredevil, I would think.
But I think that it'd be surprising to see both of them. But I think that's a dope way to go about it because now they can opt out of doing origin stories for these guys because they already have them on Netflix.
Well, Echo's getting her own show. That's why I say we're probably going to see.
I mean, no, he'll probably get his own show. But I'm saying they don't have to go origins with it.
Oh yeah, because they already
he has one. They can literally because they own the rights to that shit. They can just use that as flashback. And I like the idea of that kind of. I like Daredevil
emerging.
if you can merge in the right stuff and just kind of leave out the shit that's not needed by the shit that's not needed. I mean, Iron Fist, just kind of
Yeah,
kick that shit to the side.
probably will.
Um,
They already got Shang-Chi.
but yeah, I could see them definitely. I don't know how they would bring Jessica Jones into this because of her personality is like, I don't know, vulgar, and Disney ain't. It's not really doesn't mesh well with Disney. I guess they can probably put her in a Daredevil movie or something, but
Right.
she doesn't. Her style and personality doesn't mesh well with the MCU. I don't think.
I think they're
Um,
bringing Luke Cage in though, as well.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they bring Luke Cage in, he will do fine, but her just because of the way her character is. But I mean, I'm
Mhm.
sure they'll figure it out to make it more PG
Yeah.
or whatever.
Mhm. I wouldn't be
But
mad at a new actress,
I
personally.
don't have no, I don't have nothing against her. I like her.
I don't know. She's weird looking to me. Even though it's
She's
super
very,
shallow for of a reason to get her recasted, but
I like that's weird because I'm not even into white girls like that, and I think she's attractive. I don't know.
I don't know. I think I just seen her before. She was somebody's sister in a TV show.
She's been somebody's sister in every hella TV
Right. So
show.
that's kind of what I remember as I don't know.
Uh,
I'm not ready
you
to
just
see her
want
as
you want a fresh face that you can identify
right.
with that character. Yeah,
Right. And me personally, I'm not even gonna front. I don't really know much about Jessica Jones. And
I
people
don't
say the
either.
show is really good on Netflix. I didn't really finish the first season, so
The most I
uh
know about her is I think she's more powerful than like she's strong as hell. She can fly, and she's Luke Cage's baby's mama. That's pretty much
right, but
all I know.
her fighting in the Netflix shows wasn't good.
Well,
So
because she's not supposed to be a trained fighter.
I know,
You're
but it was
supposed to be
still
a regular.
I
I think
hate
they
that
would.
display of
But
power. Like when you're super power, like you're super strong, what you do is you kick somebody far, you throw them far, you throw them through something, and it just looks hella corny and stupid
it's
after a
this
while.
the Superman syndrome. Yeah, where
Yeah,
no
it's kind of weird.
actual hand to hand combat. He just hits really hard.
Yeah, it's wild. But yeah, go continue. Go ahead, go ahead.
Uh, no, but I mean, the show itself, I like the whole episode was dope. The laugh was there. I like that. Because it made me realize they're gonna bring it. To me, I thought that was the best Kingpin version they made anyway.
Yeah, it was
So
dope.
that was good.
Mhm.
I like the fact that it showed her. It hasn't really stated what her ability is. We just know that she's deaf. She can fight her
Mhm.
ass off, and she has one leg. Um, but it kind of showed her little mimic ability where
Right,
she was like she wasn't really able to mimic, but she was able to easily identify what the dude was doing and how to counter it. You
right,
know, so when she fought against him, she was able to counter what he was going to do because she saw it done already.
right.
Um,
It's gonna be interesting to see how they differentiate from Taskmaster because they did just do that in Black Widow.
yeah, but I don't think she's exactly the same as Taskmaster, but she is really similar.
Mhm.
Um, but hopefully they'll use this shit to bring in the whole mutants because we've been waiting for them to give us a glimpse of mutants and give us somebody who has a unique ability that wasn't given to them by the Tesseract or the
Mhm.
fucking Infinity Stones that we
Right.
don't know where that ability comes from, and then eventually you can be like, oh, they have a mutant gene.
Mhm.
They haven't done that at all with anybody.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess they can eventually throw that into like a Quicksilver. I know they got to bring Quicksilver back.
Right.
I mean, because they pretty much just killed him off after they saw how good the other Quicksilver did. And I was
They
like,
have to because
but
Wanda is all over the place.
yeah, but I'm talking about like in the actual movies, like when they first brought the Quicksilver for the MCU in, and they had the X-Men version of
Oh
Quicksilver,
yeah, yeah,
and in
yeah,
comparison, there was
yeah.
no
Yeah.
comparison.
Mhm.
But they should still find a way. Maybe they can say that when he died, they did experiments on him and found out that they have a certain gene in them, and they brought him back. And
His
I don't know.
his organs reproduced at a crazy level. He was regenerating. Maybe it's some of the
Yeah,
speed.
I don't really know all that much about Quicksilver's abilities, but I mean, I can imagine that considering the fact that I think Flash has he
That's
only
where I got it from. I was
yeah.
just saying
So,
his power.
but why
Yeah,
wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't that
yeah,
be a thing?
right.
Not quite on Wolverine level, but he heals fast enough to where it is what
If
it is. But
if he was gone for a while, it would be believable that he is better now because he regenerated over time, not
yeah,
instantly, but yeah, that'd be
but
tight.
I mean, with the way shit's going, I don't know how long I'm gonna enjoy the MCU, but I'm trying to enjoy it as long as I can because with all the shit they're talking about doing and the directions they're going in, I don't even know if I care for the directions.
Yeah,
My biggest thing that I care for mostly is the X-Men coming in. I feel like as far as like with the Avengers, they've done all I care about them doing with the Avengers.
Right.
I'm not really too interested in this Young Avengers. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. It's not like really something that I know enough about it, but it's just not something that interests me. I think there's other stories that they could go with involving the characters that were already there instead of killing them off. That could have been better because
That is crazy.
the fact that you're gonna bring a bunch of unknown people in is great. It's all good, but that's not the format that they used to make this work in the first
Right.
place.
It's kind of scattered, and I think it's all for TV shows though. When hopefully the movies make more sense
I'm
in
hoping.
connectivity, but the TV shows, I feel like, yeah, they're all over the place as far as
I'm
some are
still.
comedy, some are dark. Moon Knight seems a lot more dark than all the other shows.
That's
How
what I
the
want to see.
Right. I don't know if they're gonna actually bring something, bring a darker side. They have to. I think they have to because after a while, all the kids that watch these shows are gonna grow up too. So you got to keep that fan base. I feel like, uh, I don't know if they're resetting just so the younger kids now can grow with a set of characters, but I don't want to be, this shit get turned into the CW or nothing like that and be
Yeah,
all kids and shit.
that
Um,
was that was my mind state of what I'm seeing coming out of this. That's what I'm
right.
seeing, like
Mhm.
a better produced version of the CW shows.
Right, exactly. And Kate Bishop kind of does give off that vibe. She's going to be like the older, mature one, but she's
She
still,
does.
yeah, she gives that vibe, especially in this one. When they started off as captured, making a lot of jokes, just talking a lot. In this one, it was an ongoing theme because Hawkeye's hearing is bad. We talked about this last time. Um, when they first get in there, we're starting to see how much he actually does rely on that hearing aid more than anything because she's
Because
blabbing on.
didn't he mention something about like I'm just hard of hearing or something like that? Like I'm not
Yeah,
deaf, I'm just hard of hearing.
yeah,
But he actually is deaf.
yeah, for real, for real. Because once he kicked that shit out of his head, he can hear nothing. It sounded like he underwater.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was cool how she came out. She was actually one of the leaders of, the tracksuit mafia because it is Kingpin's gang. It makes sense for her to have her own faction of it. Trying to find the Ronin because that little flashback scene of her
Oh
seeing
yeah.
her whole gang and her uncle getting killed by Ronin.
That was her
Um,
father, I think, wasn't it?
I thought it was her uncle because she was adopted by Kingpin, and that was
No,
his.
but I thought that was her father because when she was at practice and he was leaving, he was like, "Oh, your uncle's gonna pick you up and take you home." And that's when the kingpin walks over and puts his hand on her shoulder.
Oh, I thought he was saying like me, uncle,
Now,
Native
why would he
American.
say your uncle's gonna do it? I'll see
Native
you later.
American, and
But no,
speaking spiritually.
right after he says it, he said, "I will see you later on today."
I don't know. I mean, he dies, so I don't know. I was high probably during that part.
Okay.
He's smoking a little reefer, you know what I'm saying? Smoking a reefer. So yeah, after seeing her come out, we know she's about business because we saw a little bit of her power in the flashback. She has a what's the kind of leg? Prosthetic leg? Prosthetic?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Is that shit real? Is she really a prosthetic leg? Or is that
yeah.
real? The
Oh
girl,
well, probably.
the actress, I'm saying.
I would say so because now people get kind of like
Rogue.
dinged for or get criticized for not actually getting the person that's
Oh, kind of like they did. They got the deaf girl to play the runner on the whatever that damn movie that just came out recently was.
Quiet Place.
No, Eternals. There we go. That's what it was. Totally different movie. No, the one who runs fast on the Eternals is she's
Icarus.
deaf. Yeah, she's deaf in the show in the movie, but she's also deaf in real life.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah.
But yeah. So I think she probably was, and but anyways, she had a prosthetic leg and she was deaf, but she was able to, like you said, mimic a lot of the stuff that she wanted to get done. She was an observer, and she could actually accomplish what she observed after she took time to kind of like watch it being done. So we see that she's a badass. She comes out and tries to get information about the Ronin suit because again, Ronin killed her father and a whole bunch of people from the tracksuit mafia. So she's trying to figure out, is he back so she can get revenge on him. And as you know, Kate Bishop stole the suit and she's wearing it and shit.
You know, kind of fucked up about the tracksuit, like with the banter and stuff. I don't like. I like them. I don't know, like I like their characters.
They're
so it's
funny.
like they're supposed to be part of Kingpin's group. It's like, how do you make them part of his group, but like they're likable? So it's like
Well,
kind of difficult.
some of them die. Okay,
I mean,
because some shit that
some of them definitely died, but I mean, they're still like none of them were like other than setting her apartment on fire. I mean, they haven't really done anything super bad to them.
I feel it. I feel it. They
But I
try.
mean, if the Kingpin is the same Kingpin off the Netflix show, he's definitely an asshole. So
Oh yeah, so they shouldn't be captured for very long because if they do see the Kingpin, it might be the last thing they see. Who
and
knows?
I also want to see how they play that off too, because in the show, his character's strong as fuck, but not
Yeah.
like his character's like strong as fuck, like me strong as fuck. Like
Well, like because he's like a sumo wrestler.
yeah, like he can like he's like if a power lifter was good with his hands and fighting. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they're not, but I'm saying like he is like a power lifter strength, but he's fast and he's fast enough and good enough with his hands to handle himself against somebody like Spider-Man.
Right.
But I want to see how that plays out in this, because in the comic, even though he's not a mutant or anything, he is stupid strong. Like he's strong enough to go toe to toe with Spider-Man and hold his own. And Spider-Man, we already know, has like superhuman strength.
Mhm.
So I want to see if they like portray that in this, because in the Netflix one, they portrayed him like bench pressing like 400 pounds.
Yeah.
But I can do that, no problem. I can do it easier than he did it. So
I feel
it's
that.
like, but when he was fighting motherfuckers, he was like strong as shit. So I want to see if they kind of like throw that in there to be like, yeah, you know, he's just a normal human, but he's a strong normal human. It's like something.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to see once they actually did escape, we got to see Hawkeye in action. The scene where he was like running away and just swinging off lights and shit. It was kind of weird. And they're shooting at him. I thought it was cool when he actually got his bow and arrow. And we got to see him in action shooting the bows and just jumping out of windows, shooting arrows at people, sticking them on the walls and shit. It's pretty dope. I like the fact that they're highlighting Hawkeye and his actual talents and the shit that he can do. Dove into the ball, started swimming like a shark. It was dope. It was a dope, little kind of playful, kind of funny kind of scene.
It's a good episode in general.
Yeah, that Kate Bishop, I just didn't like that slide kick she did. There's no way she had enough momentum.
I'm gonna be honest. It's a lot of the fight scenes when they show her doing them. Like they're not fluent and they seem very like she's not professional at it. Like there's a scene where she like flips the guy and then she elbows him, but it's like, why would you flip him and then pause and then elbow him when you're already going in that motion? Just flip him and just end it with an elbow to his chest, and it would look a lot smoother on camera. But it just looked really amateur when she flipped him and then it stopped and she goes, huh.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and that whole when she ran and swung on the banister and swiped his legs out. Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff would have made that look so smooth, but she made it look so unbelievable. It's like there's no way you ran 2 steps, grabbed that pole, got enough momentum to take this grown man off his feet and fall like that, enough to where he can't get up.
This reminds me of Iron Fist on Netflix, where like. This guy was supposed to be like trained for years. He's supposed to be one of the best fighters in the MCU, and like his martial arts training and shit didn't look that good. It looked like somebody who was trained to do martial arts for a movie.
I feel it.
That's what it looked like.
People were not fans of that, man.
Yeah, and that's what she looks like to me.
Yeah, but
I didn't like it because he was like, oh, he didn't get in shape. He didn't do anything. He was like, oh no, I want to keep more of a dad bod look or something. Like this dude's been training his whole life.
Yeah.
Have you seen what them Shaolin monks look like when they ain't got the roll of the motherfuckers?
He's the internal Iron Fist. Yeah, that was crazy. And then once they escape, it was weird. Another weird scene that I don't know if it was like product placement or what. The Challenger thing. I'm not gonna smash the window of a 67 Challenger, and she just stood at the car looking at it for extra seconds for some reason.
It was from the comic. It wasn't product placement. It was from the comic.
Okay, so I was like, why?
In the comic, that's what the car chases in that car. And the car looks just like that.
I get it. I was like, what the hell? She's taking an extra pause and looking hella disappointed at the car. And the car has nothing to do with this chase. But yeah.
It does.
Yeah. So they get inside the car and we get to see the trick arrows for the first time.
Oh yeah.
I think it's the first time.
No. We've seen other trick arrows. It's just this is the first time we saw all of them.
Oh, like highlighted one by one too.
Yeah, because in the first Avengers, he was using trick arrows. He was using arrows that did a bunch. He used that one that he shot at Loki, where Loki caught it and like
Oh yeah, and the
acting all bad.
gas.
Then it blew up like a couple seconds later. It was like
Oh
a
yeah.
delay explosion.
Yeah, those are It was sick. I liked it a lot. The goo arrow, the one that was dope as fuck, that pin particle arrow that just enlarged the arrow
Yeah,
when she shot it
I
up
was
in there.
thinking, I'm like, that's a big fucking arrow. I don't know
That's
how strong
huge.
the bridge is,
It would have went
but
through that bitch.
yeah, it would either went through it or really fucked up the structure of that, and they had to do a lot of work on that. That cost the city a lot of money. But
Right.
then, like the pin particle make it go small again, or do you just stay there and like they got to pay for
Forever.
that shit too? Because it's
Yeah,
like,
and then when she shot the first arrow, she killed the dudes in the truck.
oh,
Not
it was one,
knowing,
it was only one guy in that truck, but
god damn, they died. Or
he
he
died.
died. Yeah, for sure. Got
Definitely
roasted.
died. Yeah, she
Yeah,
definitely killed. She killed somebody. Yeah.
yeah, she killed a couple of them, especially one with the hit the pin particle arrow. There's no way that guy in that
Nah, they
truck.
lived.
Oh
They
my
lived.
god. Oh my
It hit
god.
they purposely showed it falling on the back of the
Back
truck.
of it, yeah. Shit, it
Yeah.
was a big ass explosion for no reason. All right, yeah. And then the one that shot hella like coils out and just brought hella Christmas trees to the car and just brought
Oh
it to a stop.
yeah. That's some Home Alone shit.
Yeah, for real, some Home Alone shit. But yeah, it
That's
was
another
really
thing too. That guy that was in that car, the one who's with her, like her right hand man, the Echo girl. That dude, his character in the comic is like the MCU's version of Joker, kind of. Like he
yeah.
wears like fucked up face paint on. He's kind of crazy mentally, but
Mhm.
he seems like for them to use that guy's name, but then give this really like
Grounded
composed,
person, yeah.
yeah, who seems like he's professional.
Hmm.
It's like that's weird, man. So I'm hoping that maybe he'll reveal that nah, he's really a fucking crazy dude, later on. But I'm assuming he's been friends with her since he was little. So I
Hmm.
think he was supposed to be one of those little kids at the martial arts class with her.
Right.
The one that gets beat up by the big black kid at the
Hmm.
beginning. Yeah.
He was serving him.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
I was watching something where they were saying that that's probably like because of the fact that Kingpin was there too. Like, why would he have went there? Just to
Mhm.
see his niece. That is probably like a thing for them to like train
Training
they,
kids, yeah.
yeah, from a young age. So
Hmm.
that's pretty dope if that's what they were doing.
Hmm.
Uh, but the episode was dope. I like the whole fight scene. I like the car chase scene. I like the fact that like he was just the way he's talking to her and like giving her minimal advice on what to do.
Yeah,
It's
because he got
like
his hearing aid kicked out and he couldn't
yeah,
hear.
but it's like she's shooting these fucking things that are like highly dangerous, like
Yeah.
explosive in traffic. So it's like, but I guess he had that much trust in her. And then after she did that one shot where she with the Pym
Shooting. Yeah.
arrow, yeah, then he was like, okay, you really are one of the best, fucking
Right.
archers in the world.
And he couldn't hear him. He's like, "You really think so? We should really let the dog out, take it for a walk." It was hella funny. You couldn't hear nothing she was saying the whole time. She was like, "Oh, maybe we should turn the other way." He was like, "Maybe we should turn the other way." She was like, "Oh, we're communicating." Like, nah, he can't hear you. That episode was hilarious. But I'm excited to see more. What happened at the end? Did they leave us up on a cliffhanger again? I don't remember.
Yeah. So he walks in, and her stepdad or her soon-to-be stepdad puts a knife to his neck, Ronan's knife to his
Oh
neck.
yeah.
Now my thing is that I'm kind of guessing because that character that he's playing, that guy with the knife,
Hmm.
is the Source Master from Marvel. That's who he's playing. That character. That character was his mentor, was Hawkeye's mentor. He was a villain, but he trained Hawkeye and his brother, I think. And then eventually revealed that he was like trying to, a villain. And then Hawkeye decided to leave, and his brother stayed, and his brother became a villain or whatever. But I'm assuming that they're gonna maybe have some that they know each other. Like they
Yeah,
haven't
I
shown
think
it
so
yet.
too. I think
And
so
then,
too.
and this is another theory I have. Ronan that killed her father was that guy, and it wasn't Hawkeye. I think that guy is the one who trained Hawkeye, and then that's why
Uh,
Hawkeye knew to take that identity because he knew it already existed.
right,
And then that's why like the guy's trying to get his shit back. That's why he was there
right.
trying to get the knife. So I'm thinking that's where they're gonna go with this. And then they gotta find out that the person that killed
Was the
Echo's
mom?
father. No. Oh, what if it was? What if
It
the
was
mom
the
was one?
mom. It was the mom. I'm
No.
telling you.
I'm talking about Echo's father, not the grandfather. I mean, not the
Oh,
old man. I'm talking about when Ronan was going through there fucking everybody up, and then the girl Echo comes and sees her dad get killed by Ronan. And I don't think it was Hawkeye. I think it was the other dude.
right. Yeah, I'm thinking
So
that the person that killed our no, our darn the uncle was the mom though.
Probably.
whole grand scheme of things. That's what I'm
Probably.
saying the mom is involved in. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense because how he pulled it out on Hawkeye got hands, so you can probably disarm him pretty easily, but he's gonna realize it's his homie and he's gonna hug him. It's been
Yeah.
so long. And she can be like, oh, you know this guy, da, da, da. And then it's gonna come down to all that shit, and then she's gonna learn more and more that her mom's actually evil, and that's what's gonna
Well,
happen.
and
I
so
think.
is he, and so is that guy.
Right. But he's
Although I
gonna
think if I'm correct in the comic, both him and Mimic have moments where they're good and bad in the comic.
I'm
I think
about to say
Mimic is mostly good. She's bad at the beginning, but then she
Echo.
becomes good. Mimic, my bad. Echo. She
Mimics
becomes
X-Men.
yeah. They get that. They probably got the same fucking moves. But
Yeah.
anyways, I think she becomes good throughout most of the comic. But Swordsman is hit or miss. Like, he's good sometimes he's bad. So it's just depending on what the scenario is or what his agenda
So we're gonna
is.
see a moment where either Hawkeye's gonna have to kill his mentor, or he finds out that his mentor is not necessarily the person behind all the evil and he lets him walk. I kind of see that moment coming.
That could happen too. Yeah.
And the mom going to jail.
And the mom goes to jail. And then
that's Kate Bishop going off on her path to becoming Hawkeye as well.
Kate Bishop goes and lives with him and his family and trains with him. And then he trains her and his daughter.
But now he has all the resources of being hella rich because if his mom's in jail, she's going to inherit all that money.
That is true.
So she's going to be a rich ass trainee with all the resources in the world.
But I think Hawkeye would just keep her on the farm. He seems too simple. Like, yeah, I would.
Unless she had hella stash houses, fuck it. But I feel like Kingpin, and they're still got to bring in Natasha's sister because he thinks that Hawkeye killed her. She's
coming into the show pretty soon. I'm pretty sure they're probably gonna need that. They're probably gonna need all that help once they get Kingpin revealing himself, and he got his whole squad, all the whole little mafia, whoever the fuck they are after them.
Yeah,
they probably gonna have to all team up to keep that from happening.
We only got 3 more episodes, and this is about to be episode 4 that comes out on Wednesday here. So we ain't got much left. So she's gonna come. She need to come now because I'm tired of these shows not wrapping up all these loose ends they got in the show. And let's get into that. Let's get into that.
I like her character too. She's kind of cute. So.
Right. She was actually up for actress. I think it's action actress or something against Scarlett Johansson and the People's Choice Awards. I was watching that. Marvel was cleaning up on everything. I think Loki won for best show, best TV show. Shang-Chi won for best action movie of the year.
Not at all.
And then
still upset with that movie.
Yeah, and then actor of the male actor of the year went to The Rock for his movie Jungle Cruise on Disney Plus.
Still haven't seen that.
I liked it. It's just The Rock being The Rock.
He's always The Rock,
right? But the nostalgia of Jungle Cruise at Disney made the movie kind of cool. Gave it a story. It was pretty dope. If you it's a twist at the end, pretty dope. But yeah, that brings us to the end here. Any last thoughts before we get up out of here? I gotta go eat, man. I gotta eat these nachos.
Yeah, I gotta go. Shit, I gotta go work tonight. I ain't slept all day. That's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah,
horrible.
You better get you some. You're not now.
It's all good. Hopefully I'll get in and tell me I gotta go back home because I'm not vaccinated. So I'm praying for it.
That'll be interesting. But yeah, any last thoughts before I tell them where they can find you at?
Nah, nada. Just
keep watching the show, huh?
Yeah, keep watching the show and yeah.
Come back for reviews because we got hella more coming for you.
Yep, vaginas.
But yeah, vaginas. Okay. But you know where they can find you at AKA or at Akio Young. Let me tell them that for you so you ain't gotta try to remember. And then you got SoundCloud with some music, dropping every now and then. You never know. Go there, check it out. You never know when something new is going to be there. If you don't go, you won't know. So go check it out. You feel me? You know where to find me at. It's SAC_Lydell on the Instagram, Patrick_Lydell on the Snappy Chappy. Best of Bias on the Instagram as well. You can find all the podcast news, what we're going to be talking about. You can find the merch. You feel me? You see another one right here. I showed you guys all the the merch last episode, the hats we have going here now. We got a lot more styles, a lot more stuff coming soon for you. Probably throw the promo on here after or some shit like that, so you guys can see what we got going. Listen to that song by PC. You feel me? Peacefully Challenged, right? Yes. Hell yeah. That song on there. Check that song out. Download that shit. But yeah, we got plenty more coming, man. More episodes. We dropping every Friday. Go watch the NFL. Watch the Buccaneers win the Super Bowl again. I will add the NFL scores here. Probably before the episode. You'll probably hear them pop in before the episode. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna update you guys on what's going on in standings and stuff, and if your team's going to the playoffs and whatnot. If you're in the fantasy playoffs, congratulations for all that shit. But let's get up out of here. Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Best of Bias podcast. Watch Hawkeye. Be cool out there. Be safe. Enjoy the holidays if you don't listen before Christmas, but I know you will. And yeah, AKA, we out of here.
We out of here.
Where my theme song at? You know what's up. Let's get out of here. I'm saying.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias podcast.